Hello and welcome to A Queso Good News, the web show that talks about all the important and positive things happening in the cheese world. Now, from maker to monger, you're going to hear their story from their point of view in their own words. My name is Brad Hedman. I'm one of your co-hosts here. You're going to be joined a little bit later by Rachel Juhl, who is the woman driving this crazy train. But first, I'm sure you're saying to yourself, isn't this a total ripoff of that John Krasinski thing? Except without the famous people and mostly about cheese, which is kind of weird. And you would be right. That's exactly it. We think it's an awesome show. We love watching that show. It makes us all feel good. And we want to do the same, only for the cheese people. You see, the specialty food world, and cheese in particular, is a close-knit community. It doesn't matter on which coast you're on. You know each other and you're friends and you want to support each other. And right now, if we're not struggling personally, we know someone that is. We want to do our part. We want to help. We want to just raise the awareness and support all the friends, family, makers, mongers, everyone associated with the cheese world, so that we can maybe shine a light and maybe have a tide that lifts all boats. So without further ado, let's get a global update on all the Queso Good things happening right now from my co-host, Rachel. Juhl?
Just working on my night cheese. Oh. Hi, Brad. Didn't see you there. Okay. This is embarrassing. Okay. Hold, please. Hello, everyone. My name's Liz Lemon. No, it isn't. My name's Rachel Juhl, but most of my friends call me Juhl. If you know me, you probably heard me. I've never wanted to successfully keep my voice down when I'm talking about something I really love. So when I heard the announcement that I was actually going to be banned from visiting anyone, I put a call out to my friends, and boy did they deliver. You see, like driving through a dark tunnel trying to navigate your way to the light, there's actually small lights along the way to keep us from crashing into the walls and keep us safe. So friends, allow me to share the lights in our proverbial tunnel. A Queso Good News. With the drastic disappearance of business sales to restaurants for artisan cheesemakers, many were left with no outlet for their extra cheese. So facing sheer economic demise felt pretty helpless. However, a current champion arose, and she said, I have an idea. You may know her as Madame Fromage, acclaimed author and beloved cheese educator. She collaborated with her neighborhood bar to have the city of brotherly love do what it does best.
Friends, it's me. Just a reminder that tomorrow is my dairy drive-thru, rain or shine. If you'd like to order some curds or some cheese for pickup from Sue Miller of Birch Run Hills Farm, this is a Venmo situation. Hop on Venmo, order direct from the maker, that's at Birch Run Hills Farm. Then meet me tomorrow, Saturday afternoon between 1 and 4 p.m. I'll be at Johnny Brenda's in the pickup window, handing cheese to you with gloved hands. Also, Ed the chef is making cheese curds. Plus, Edible Philly is dropping off copies of their new issue. Hope to see you. Thank you for your support.
Many cheesemongers join this industry because they enjoy people. They enjoy serving. But now, how do you get that same interaction and continue to provide that service? Well, one monger took his company's mentality of go the extra mile seriously and included little personal notes with every customer order's pickup. The response? A flood of thank yous. The news has been buzzing about lack of adequate PPEs for healthcare providers, let alone those on the front lines in the food service industry. And so many have started to meet their own, but if your business is struggling, you got family at home now, it's hard to find the time and resources to do so. And so this has been working with other like-minded businesses pays off. In Houston, Texas, farmers come together at a market weekly, not just to sell their goods, but to serve each other. bar with a convenient walk-up window. So how can existing cheese shops, those still surviving, do their part? How do you even make a dent in a producer's inventory when you don't have the ability to shove it in the mouth of every person who walks through your door? Well, for a small shop in Massachusetts, you take it to the internet and let it do what it does best. Well, now that I'm officially warm on the inside, and no, it's not just the peppermint tea. Back to you, John. Brad, wrong show. Brad.
Thanks, Juhl. That did make me feel good. And now, a conversation with Matteo from Jasper Hill Farm in Greensboro, Vermont. They're one of the more important American cheesemakers, as well as affineurs and networkers, and they just work with so many of us across the country that it's really great to hear how they're doing. Let's see. Hey, Matteo from Jasper Hill Farm. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. This social distancing thing, I think, was like invented in Vermont. You know, it takes 20 years to get to know your neighbors up here. You know what I mean? And you know, we've been just really loving having this time together. It's kind of a precious moment in spite of all that's happening in the world and in the business. You know, to have this time together as a family has been, you know, there's a real silver lining there for us. I think we're going to come out the other end of it closer than we would have otherwise. And you know, memories being made. You know, so
as a society, and I think you're absolutely right. At first, it felt like Victorian times because we were planning these family walks, right, to just get out of the house, go into the woods, and walk around, and it just felt like this kind of forced, but then quickly became what you wanted to do. You wanted to be around the family and just kind of be. So what's it like at work then right now? How's everyone?
You know, it's we've had to turn our whole business upside down. It's been working out. Actually, we're getting more work done in the hours, and increased our efficiency and all kinds of different ways. And we've had to pivot, but we sure are putting a lot more cheese in the little boxes. So, you know, mail orders has really kind of blown up, and it is what's keeping us alive right now.
You're right. The creativity that comes out when you're faced with a crisis like this.
Yeah. And, you know, we have an incredible team, you know, that's in it to win it and willing to like go to the mat to, you know, keep the business afloat. Anything's possible. We specialize in possibilities, and this is just the latest set of hurdles, and you know, we're figuring it out. It's been good. It's not without its difficulties and trials and tribulations, but you know, we really are flexing and coming into our own in the moment.
It's got to be inspiring to kind of feel and see the kind of solutions that, I mean, I don't know if you guys thought for more than 30 minutes about what the future was going to hold, but it felt like the crisis came. We're like, okay, then here we go. What's going to be the next step? And it just bubbles up from everyone because, I mean, I've met many of your crew. And so I can at least on a personal level, but, you know, verify the quality that you're working with. But when people care that much, I think, about what they do and who they do it with, even a global pandemic can be a chance to really improve and gel and come together out stronger, hopefully, when this all comes to some fruition. But
you know, there are opportunities, a few of them in a lifetime, that really define you. And we're seeing this as one of those moments where as a business, as a company, as humans within the business, we can both articulate and live the principles that are kind of foundational to the business as a whole. So that clarity of vision is what's going to get us through the wilderness here.
I hope that kind of vision spreads out. And whenever I find a food I really like, I want to tell the other retailers that I know, because I want them to help that business. I want that business to be there next year. And I think right now what we're seeing is that's all wide open on the table. I talk to retailers every day. I've been able to talk to not only just cheesemakers, but all sorts of food makers across the country. And all we're talking about is how we can help each other and how we can spread the word. And that's what we want to do here, right? This isn't about Zingerman's. This isn't about Jasper Hills. This is about the artisan cheesemakers out there, the cheesemongers who are out there, and all of them who are struggling. And how can we help? And how can we raise all of these boats with one single tide? Which might be a hell of a segue into Victory Cheese, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. So, one thing is clear, and that is that we are interdependent, all of us. I think sometimes, like on the producer side, we're far away from consumers. There's more distance between us and the buying public, and sometimes our stories are complicated, not necessarily easy to bullet point and communicate. We're trying to build a platform that can connect cheesemakers with consumers. Victory Cheese is a new organization that was born in this moment, really to help tell the story of what's happening with American specialty cheesemakers. The idea is, the Victory Gardens in World War II.
Right.
Basically, we're trying to come together, build a platform where we can meet the public where they are, where retailers or restaurants that want to try and figure out how to connect with consumers can sell products online. There's going to be an online sales component, but really it's about clarifying the message and creating the opportunity for consumers to participate in saving what's precious, because I think as a society we have a lot to lose if artisan cheesemakers kind of disappear and fade away here. So tagline is choose it or lose it. It's a call to action. Really, we're hoping that consumers will seek out American specialty cheese, that they'll go find a way to support producers regionally, at their local retailers, online, in any way they can, and we need consumers that we're enjoying not just our cheeses, but cheeses from all our friends and neighbors out there. We need people to vote with their forks and figure out how to make American artisan cheese and better cheese part of their everyday experience.
Here. And is Victory Cheese, is that going to kind of have the momentum to become some sort of repository of information, like online or something that people can point to too?
Exactly. It's going to be a space where you can search for cheeses regionally, locally. You can search for cheeses by type. There's going to be a centralized place for communication and press, and to build awareness across the industry with one voice that represents, all artisan cheesemakers, not just particular brands, because at the end of the day, we're all in the same situation and we're all in this together. Honestly, the thing I love about the cheese business is the people and the passion. We're talking about, people being like the main ingredient in our industry, and we need to figure out how to make sure that we can come through this together, and that we can build collaborations that help support our customers, because retailers and restaurants are also going through this. Building some kind of awareness that we are all connected and our fortunes are connected is really what Victory Cheese is about, is kind of just building out a message and creating a platform to tell a story that will drive some commitment towards saving these special products that were born here in the US of A.
I'm ready to hitch my wagon to your star, and I hope everyone else is. So we're just going to try to keep as much chatter about this, Matteo, as we possibly can, to keep all of those cheesemakers in business. to maybe develop some new cheeses. Who knows what new things are going to come out of this crisis, but we've got to get over the hump now. So Victory Cheese will spread the word. Find your local cheese shop. Find out what they have. The sheer fact that you and I are talking just shows our optimism and shows the optimism of the food world, I think. Either that or the ignorance and the unwillingness to admit defeat. It's one or the other, but.
And this is an opportunity to really deepen relationships, build resilience, communicate with consumers about value and values in a way that I think can lead to an even better world on the other side of this.
I'm ready, Matteo. I'm ready.
Thanks,
you've
Matt.
made my day already. It's early in the morning, but I think Thursday's going to kind of kick ass now. Thanks, man.
Thursday is going to be, this is going to be the best day.
If I put the tie on it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for business. I'm serious.
Thank you guys for getting out there, beating the drum every day, supporting us and our friends and telling our stories. We wouldn't be here without you guys, honestly,
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Let us know what we can do for you.
All right, bud.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, nothing but good. Nothing but good. Inspiring words from Matteo. Really good to hear that, and I'm glad that we're all working together. But for some boots on the ground kind of experience, we go to Louise down in the Artisan Cheese Company in Sarasota, Florida. They just recently opened their doors, and it's been quite an experience. Hello, we are here with Louise from the Artisan Cheese Company in Sarasota, Florida. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm really great. Thank you. It's such a privilege for me to be here. Gosh, thank you.
It's wonderful to talk to you, especially today because I know that this is your second day that you've been open since the whole lockdown went. And we did get a chance to chat yesterday. It sounded great. How was today?
Today was great as well. I mean, yesterday was pretty amazing. Our customers just rallied behind us, and the gals at my shop were just superstars. And today was a lot like that as well. It was a gentle busy, which is great. People pace themselves, and yeah, it was really good. It feels good.
Did it feel natural? Did it feel back like, a March day or a February day?
It feels, well, this is our big a moment of the year because we're supposed to be in high season, and it is not that, but it was magical because we've been bringing in all these beautiful cheeses, and so we've been away from the cheese for a good 6 weeks, and so we're bringing in cheeses from Capriole today, and that arrived and unfolding them, and so that part was magical, and product for our pantry shelves, and it's crazy to think that it's taken this pandemic to, our shop looks beautiful, so that was magical.
That's what I never thought about, the reunion of friends that are cheeses. Like it's the cheeses you haven't seen in 6 weeks too, and you're right.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. And our customers are the same. I mean, they're kind of like, where's my Piper's Pyramid? So yeah, it's exciting for them too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, it's obviously not normal. It's not the way it was, and there's going to be a new normal now. But I mean, there's one thing I've kind of talked to a lot of people, and they've had really creative ideas about when they open up again, right? What else they're going to do, or what other kind of services they could bring. So what kind of things have you been doing in the shop that you didn't do before?
Sure. So we haven't had an online presence. We've had social media, which we've relied heavily on always, and our website, of course, but that's been kind of just there. It's more of a calling card. And so we realized the last couple of weeks before the complete lockdown, people like to buy online in the company, but at home.
Right.
And we were able to get through the last couple of weeks because of that. We actually have a walk-up window. When we moved into this new location, it was supposed to be a pizza place, and we built it from the ground up. And then so our landlord's like, and we've got this window, this like walk-up window for pizza. And I was like, I'm never going to use that. And, all of a sudden, like 8 weeks ago, we realized this was coming, and we looked in the far corner, and it was like, we've got a window. And so we started using it. And so now we got this walk-up window. So people are able to order online, and they can just come in, safely pick up at the window without even coming to the shop. And so our online, we've had to put our entire inventory online. So that's really different. And we actually have to speak in the same way that we would if they were coming into the shop. So it's requiring finding our voice online. So.
But it's possible, isn't it? I mean, I come from the e-commerce world here with my normal job, but I spent a lot of time in shops talking to customers. And that was one thing I always worried, that you would lose that experience or that exchange. But it sounds like you're still providing a pretty great experience to the people that, I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Sure, right.
But we have to pivot. We have to do something else. And it's possible, isn't it? We even online.
Yeah, and the pivot is our word of the month, I think, and that's exactly what's had to happen. I think that we found a voice through Instagram and Facebook, and so we're just actually taking the voice that we have there, which is in a lot more imagery, and bringing it over into our website. So it's as if we're talking to the customer, and so I'm not going to say, and this cheese is da, 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 da. I'm not going to be that kind of metronome. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to say, hey Brad, you got to get this cheese, it's going to go really nice, and I want you to know because I love it. So that's the thing that has to come out on the site. So I've got my work cut out for me because we have a lot of products right now. So yeah.
Excuse me one second. Dashiell, go away. I will come up and help you with the dinosaur. Sorry about that.
That's the best line of the day. I will come up and help you with a dinosaur.
It's a very special dinosaur, apparently.
I'm going to use that one. Yeah.
Well, when we were talking yesterday, you said something to me that really resonated, which was you found your passion again. And I totally understood what you meant, but tell me what that means to you.
So, when I opened the shop 8 years ago, it was because I loved food. I loved the community of food, and I love cheese. It's magical. And so, after running a business and making mistakes in your business and just trying to triage the days or the months, it's not that I lost my passion, but it got fogged up. Yeah. So the last weeks have really allowed me to kind of pause and figure out what it was that I like about cheese or love about it. And, it's just a magical food, and it brings people together. And so we really have, like, every single person in the shop who works with me, we've been able to find that again and come back to what's important and who are the cheesemakers that we really believe in. And it has allowed us to get back to that, or not even get back, but to go forward to it. Because it's not about what happened 8 years ago. We've come so far. We're not the same people. So we just want to go, bring this with us. We've learned a lot.
You're absolutely right. And that's what meant to me. It's like cheese isn't just a SKU, but when you're running a business, certainly like yourself, and you have employees and you have this and you have bills and this, I mean, you lose sometimes the reminder that behind this cheese was a person, right? And behind that was another person who had the cows or who had the sheep, who had the goats, and they loved those things, and that's why they had great milk. And then this person loved that milk, and they turned it into a cheese that they loved. And then you tasted it, and you loved it, and now you're going to share it with a customer. And it's this chain, kind of a love train, I guess, but it goes all the way back, and it's really people. It's not just some product that ends up. We're not selling widgets. We're selling labors of love from people who are really passionate about what they do, who unfortunately are having probably a harder time right now. So as long as we can do our part to raise our awareness and to raise awareness about folks like you, like there's the Artisan Cheese Company in Biloxi, Mississippi, I'm sure. There's this small little corner shop in every little corner of our country. And if we could all remember that they're there and all remember how important they are to our lives, I think we can all get through this together.
I
hopefully.
think so too. I think so too. And we're storytellers, you know. I think that's always been who we are. And I think that this is a big story. This is one long story right now that we get to tell. And you know, the cheesemakers, they are in trouble. And it's our job as mongers to not issue the dire warning in because things are heavy right now, but just to remind people that the reason why they're coming into a cut to order independent place like mine is that we can tell that story and we can take care of the cheese, and those people can't come down. Well, nobody can travel, but they can't come down. They can't be behind the counter. And so our job as at the end of the line is to take care of the cheese and to share all of the wisdom and everything that we can to our customer. And then they'll come back. And even if they only come in for like $5 piece of cheese, right? I mean, I wish it were 50, but $5 piece of cheese, they might win the lottery next week, and they might come in and buy $500 worth of cheese for all their friends. I mean, it's not as crass as that, but it doesn't matter, 5 or 500.
I am very happy that you're out there doing what you're doing. I am so excited that your shop is back open. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful next month, and that the next time we talk, you're going to have 1,000 great stories about all the things that have happened.
You're going to make me cry, but yes,
Okay,
thank you.
that's probably a good place because that'll make me cry. But I would love to talk for you for another few hours, and we will. I that's what I like about this. I do have a new friend, and it's down in Sarasota. So
I appreciate that.
I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I really
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Keep fighting the fight. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Louise. It really excites me to eat more cheese, and especially if I had a shop like you nearby. Which leads me to what you, the viewer, can do. Get online. Google cheese shops near you. If you've got a favorite specialty food store, figure out how they're taking orders and do your part to support them if you can, because they've got great stuff. And maybe you didn't need it before, but trust me, food, especially cheese, makes this period a lot easier to swallow. So for Rachel, for myself, Brad, for Matteo, for Louise, for everyone in the cheese world, we thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you again. Until then, go find some good news.